Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Lynch Paints. Now today I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different that I wanted to do or have been thinking about for a little while now. But there isn't going to be a painting video today, and I do apologise for my voice. That Nurgle has reached out its filthy, putrid tendrils, and has claimed me this week with a horrible, nasty cold. Now, today I'm going to be discussing with you about returning Primarchs. So, this sort of topic is very entertaining for us 40k fans, and we love to indulge in this and speculate who's next going to be returning. So, with most people eyeing up either Corax or Leman Russ to be the next Loyalist Primarchs to return, they will help to probably balance out the odds, as we're currently outnumbered by the traitor demonic Primarchs by 3-2. And with Fulgrim just over the velour-covered horizon, that will mean that we will be twice as outnumbered versus the heretic Primarchs. But what if I were to tell you that there could be a very good chance of a certain Loyalist Primarch returning, but not many people are really discussing why, and I haven't seen many people sort of bringing him up other than the fact that he is just really cool. A Primarch that we know is still alive out there in the galaxy. Well, my friends, that's what we're going to be talking about in this first Lynch Paints lore theory related video type thing. So, strap in, have yourself a refreshing beverage, and join me as I ramble about why this Primarch makes the most sense to return next. Currently, within the fandom, most people will state that the most likely Loyalist Primarchs to return are Leman Russ, stated to be returning during the Wolf time, which I'm pretty sure would have been now. You know, what with the galaxy being split in half, being the main issue that all the factions are facing right now, you think he'd be back by now? Surely. Then you have Jagatai Khan, lost within the webway, chasing down Dark Eldar raiders, but is not stated as being dead, so he's most likely serving within the fighting pits of Comorragh, putting up a real good challenge. And then there's Corax, last seen within the warp, giving Lorgar the heebie-jeebies in his new demon bird form. Yes, that's right, he's even creeping out Lorgar of all people. Now, these are all great choices, however there is one that would fit into the story, in my opinion, better than these three. As others have been as the others can be inserted at any time that Games Workshop wishes. There's one lovable Primarch that would be needed more than the others at this point in time. And that is none other than Vulcan, Primarch of the Salamanders. Now, this may sound odd, but here's my reason behind my choice, trying to put my biases aside as I do love Vulcan as a character. So those of you that may not know, Vulcan is what is referred to as Perpetual, a being that can never truly die. His unique ability was discovered, much to Conrad Kurz's immeasurable irritation, during the Istvan Dropside Massacre. After escaping Kurz's capture and crash landing onto Macragge, he was presumed dead and then taken to Nocturne, where he was revived and then disappeared. He was then later seen during the War of the Beast in M32 on some backwater planet, fighting a huge horde of orcs, all by himself. Now there's a whole series of books called the Beast That Rises series that does cover this part in the lore. But in short, a colossal orc war boss is leading an assault that nearly cripples the throne world of Terror, using orc attack moons, of all things. I mean, picture the Death Star, but with a massive orc grinning face on it. It's absolutely brilliant. And they also wipe out the entirety of the original Imperial Fist Legion chapter. Not so special now, after all, are they, Valrak? So Vulcan was last seen fighting the great beast himself and to vanquish it, he threw both he and himself into the reactor of a Mega Guardian that was brimming with pure Warg energy. Now, of course, being a perpetual, you think that he would have survived this encounter, right? So the big question is, where is he? Well, he has left various artifacts for his Legion, now chapter, to recover across the galaxy. Once all have been found, he will return. And he placed out 9 of these artifacts for his chapter to find. And out of the 9, so far they have discovered 5, which is pretty good going. So there's another 4 out there. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but there is info online. You can find them, but it's just the names. We don't know exactly what they are, but I know that one of them is called the Engine of Woe, which could be perhaps interpreted as like a vessel or a massive cannon of some sort. We're not too sure exactly what they are, but we just have the names of them. These are the only surviving artifacts of great power out of thousands that were created by the big cuddly man himself. Turns out he had a bit of a dark knack for forging destructive items, as well as, of course, giving out the best hugs out of any Primarch. So, it's established that he is capable of creating immensely powerful creations, and his Legion has some of the finest crafted war gear within the Adeptus Astartes. So you must be wondering, what's the link? Why would Vulcan be the best choice to come back, narratively speaking? Well, you know who else is crafting incredible war gear at destructive powers and is being introduced for the traitor side of things? Vashtorr. So Vashtorr is not quite a Chaos God, but he is the Chaos God's arms dealer, creating all kinds of nightmarish machinery for all of their devious purposes. So, similar to Vulcan, he is a craftsman, a creator of weapons, armors, vehicles, and all kinds of tools for waging war. Chaos has their weaponsmith, so it would make sense to have the Imperium's forger, Vulcan, return to help counteract Vashtorr's mechanical horrors. Now, granted, we do have Cole, Belisarius Cole, but it seems like he's working towards a hidden agenda for himself and helps out the forces of the Imperium, more because he's being told to, not because he actually wants to help the betterment of the Imperium. This is where Vulcan would be the best counter and the best hope for the Imperium. He will generally want to help the Imperium and to see it recover. He would quite easily be able to create new machineries that matches, if not surpasses, the incredible artifacts of immense power he once created during the early days of the Great Crusade. Now let's not forget the Talisman of Seven Hammers, a device that the Emperor instructed Vulcan to create that would be the last failsafe in stopping the Force of Chaos from winning by obliterating the Imperial Palace and the entirety of Terra itself. So if he's capable of creating weapons like that, then what could he do now? You know? So Vashtorr is currently after the Lock and Key, which are hinted at being these weapons of great power. I think he's already got the key, but just needs to find the lock. And I'm wondering, could the lock and some of the other artifacts that Vashtorr is trying to hunt down, could they be some of the artifacts of Vulcan that Vulcan has created, or one of the many thousands of artifacts that Vulcan had allegedly destroyed, but maybe a few he had kept but just hidden away throughout the galaxy? Maybe. So, to wrap all of this up in a nice, neat package, Vulcan is, in my opinion, the perfect counter to Vashtorr for his ingenuity and craftsmanship. And right now, more than ever, the Imperium needs a Primarch that gives the best hugs. Because let's be honest, when all seems bleak and miserable, the thing we want most is a hug and an ornately crafted armour that makes us feel a lot better. Well, maybe not that last part, but at least definitely a big old hug just to make you feel better, right? So let me know down in the comments below if you agree with my theory of Vulcan being arguably the best Primarch to return. Now the others, like I mentioned before, the other Loyalist Primarchs, they can come back, it sort of seems, whenever Games Workshop sort of feels like it. I mean, besides Leman Russ, it seems like he should have returned quite a bit of time ago, being the whole thing of he'll return during the wolf time, and this seems like the perfect time for the wolf time. That's a lot of mention of time, so I'll stop there. So, with all that said, what do you all think? Let me know down in the comments below, and let's discuss down there. And of course, if you enjoy the video, then let me know if you want to see any more like this, and let me know by gently hugging the like button and the subscribe if you're new. And if you want to support what I do here, then the best way is just to subscribe and share with your friends. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay beautiful, and we'll see you all next time.